welcome. I am here today with Ayla Tesler-Mabe, and we are gonna be helping you to learn how to sing and play the guitar at the same time. I have great news for you. I cannot play the guitar, but Ayla can really play the guitar. So we're gonna be talking about some really practical tips and tricks, things to expect when you wanna begin playing and singing the guitar at the same time. Now, before we begin, Ayla, when I was first learning to sing and play the piano, I was like completely blindsided by how difficult it was to do both things at the same time. So I'm curious if you had the same experience.
100%, of course. And it doesn't help that I still wasn't very proficient at the guitar. With my voice, still figuring things out. So when I tried to put them together, it was like a disaster because I was still struggling to get from one chord to the next. I was struggling to put everything together with, songs I was learning how to sing, and yeah, it was really difficult.
So it's difficult. So
yeah.
I feel like this is a universal thing, which brings us to our very first point. And that is, before you begin to sing and play, you wanna either completely master your song on your instrument first, or on your vocal first, and then bring it together. So one of those two things should be like super solid, and the other one should be pretty close to super solid. The better you can do them apart, the easier it's gonna be to put them together. Okay, so Ayla, what would you say what would be the next step? So you figured out your song over here, and you figured out your song over here. What's the next step?
I would say the next step is jumping into, trying to put them together, but in a way that you're not making things more complicated than they need to be. So whenever you learn a song, and this is a great habit to get into, I think, on any instrument, but being able to simplify it to its most basic form, with just open chords maybe, instead of playing that crazy shreddy part, might be good for now, because then you can really focus on being able to, take the singing and the vocal part and apply it to chords that are still in the groove of the song, in the right key. You're still making music, but you're not forcing yourself to be, throwing 80 balls up in the air and trying to catch them all. Simplify.
Don't juggle right away.
That's what I was trying to say.
Have to.
This was a juggling analogy. I wanted to draw out the suspense for a moment, but you really hit it home.
Thanks.
Now they know.
Teamwork. Okay, so so let's give an example of this. So I would love for you to play and sing something and begin with the most simplified way, just to give an example of how this could look. And then we'll show you what it would look like if she was actually gonna perform the song, maybe what she'd play, as opposed to what she would do when she's just practicing, getting used to singing and playing at the same time.
Okay, I'll try my best. So, Get Back by the Beatles, right?
Yes!
Classic, kind of a blues-oriented sort of thing.
Love it.
Yeah? All right, so I think it's an A. We'll start with our open chords. And maybe even before I start, getting the lyrics and everything, maybe I'll just start with the melody.
I like that.
Yeah, keep it simple. So, and we'll try to keep in time too. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I love it, I love it.
Okay, that was a fairly successful first attempt, I'd say.
So you were like just playing, what do we call, we just go this?
Just a down strum, on the
strum.
down beat, holding it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Just holding for, 2 bars at a time until the next chord change. Not doing anything crazy.
So you're not really keeping rhythm.
Yeah, I'm keeping rhythm just in my body, in my mind. You could see, if you could see my feet, they were tapping
Some foot tapping?
Some foot tapping going on, but see, now we're getting a shot of my feet tapping.
Yes!
But yeah, I don't think you need to, be playing the whole thing all at once, Keep it simple.
Start small, keep it simple.
Yeah.
So you started with like a da-da-da-da-da, and really simply here. So what would your next step be?
I think adding lyrics could be a great next step. And you don't have to do it at this point, but why not? We're here, might as well. And the sooner you start trying to get the lyrics down, I think the sooner you'll start to internalize the whole song on a deeper level anyway. So
I agree with that.
yeah, let's give it a try. I'll play the same part as before, but I'll try to add the lyrics and not butcher them too much. And let's go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Georgia was a man who thought he was a loner, but knew it couldn't last. Georgia left his home in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass. Okay.
That was awesome.
Worked well enough. And, I was sort of feeling the moment. I wasn't playing perfectly in time, but I thought it was accompanying the vocal part well enough, so I think it worked all right.
I thought it sounded really good.
Well, thanks.
One of the things that I've noticed when learning to play and sing is that I often find it's very surprising when you try to sing a song without the artist. Like if you're not singing this along with the Beatles, you might be like, oh my gosh, I thought I knew this so well, but I actually don't know it as well as I thought I did. So one of the tricks that I've used on the piano I think would be great for the guitar is playing your instrumental part, recording it, and then singing along with that to kind of help you. So if you find singing the lyrics while you're playing tricky, maybe record your guitar part first and then sing along with that. So you're only doing one thing at a time, but you're still being responsible for both parts.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I do that sometimes as well. Yeah.
There we go. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you've got that, I feel like the next step would be adding some fancy stuff on the guitar.
Yeah, and I think especially if I'm going to start sprucing things up a little bit, and I think this is also relevant to the point you were making about it's weird to sing and play and do all of this, but without the actual song there. I like to actually hear it in my head while I'm doing it, so I have like a running track of the song going. And I think this is kind of an overarching point. If you know the song really well, that helps so much. So spending a lot of your, practicing, actually listening to the song and trying to internalize it on that level can be so fantastic. So
love that.
Yeah. But let's say I want to spruce up the rhythm a little bit. I'm going to be imagining, especially the drum groove in my head, and it has sort of like sort of all on the snare, kind of one of those kind of feels. And so I'm going to imagine that. And I'll see if I can have that come through in, I guess, the guitar part and the rhythm I'll be adding to it.
Awesome.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Georgia was a man who thought he was a loner. Oh, hold on. You know what? I could stop and say, I don't like that. I'm going to take the vocal out for a second. Let's see if I can just focus on the groove. So the groove is a little bit straighter than I was playing. So let's see if I can get... Just play that groove for a while and maybe separate that if you need to.
I love it. That's a great point. I love those teachable moments that happen in the moment.
Yeah.
So good.
There you go. Georgia was a man who thought he was a loner, but knew it couldn't last. Georgia was a man in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass. And so, as you can see, this is really a new experience for me. I don't know the song as well as I should. And so I am gonna go home, practice it a whole bunch, and isolate all the variables the way and Lisa is recommending you do as well. And this is the perfect example of I tried to put things together, but probably a bit too soon. I should spend more time trying to, work on getting that groove down with the guitar and the voice. But I think this brings up another point. Just because you can play a guitar part in isolation and it works well, maybe it isn't the best for, just accompanying yourself solo.
That's a great point.
Yeah. So you can try to figure out something else. Like I could try something like...
I like that.
Georgia was a man who thought he was a loner, but he knew it couldn't last. Georgia left his home in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass. And I like that one accented, I think, the important parts of the groove even more. So
it felt groovier, and I felt like it supported your vocal better.
I was thinking that too. Like the other part was maybe a little bit too busy.
So it's also about adjusting your thinking, because when you're playing just as a guitarist on your own, you might do something differently than when you're supporting yourself or someone else as a vocalist. You might bring it back a little bit.
Totally.
That's a really, really, really good point. So I think we've covered some of the most important aspects of what to do to get comfortable singing and playing the guitar at the same time. All right, so you want to make sure that you know your song super duper well. Know it with just the guitar and with just your vocal. And if you need to record one part so that you can practice playing along with the other, it's a great way to kind of get your toes wet. Keep the part simple until you're ready, and then slowly building complexity. And then I think it's really important to state it doesn't need to be a rush. This is a process, it's a learning process, and while it might take a little bit at the beginning, eventually you'll get to the point where you're not really having to think about it because it's become a natural process for you. And then a couple little final last points would be make sure that you take advantage of the capo if that's something that you use. If you need to put the song in the right key for yourself.
Totally. If I had my capo on camera with me, I would completely agree because, when it comes to playing bar chords on the guitar, that's hard enough to begin with. So especially if you are, trying to sing at the same time as your guitar playing, and you're still, trying to get comfortable with bar chords, use a capo, right? Because it allows you to move all these chords anywhere you want to on the neck because you're essentially moving fret 0, the open strings, to anywhere you need it to be. And it clamps onto the neck. And
it's nice and easy. It's making it easier for yourself.
Yeah.
I really love that point. I think that the capo, as well as making it simpler to play on the guitar, also allows you to kind of play around with finding just the right key to support your vocal. So while it makes it simpler for the guitar, you can also make things easier for yourself as a vocalist because you don't want to be straining for those notes. You don't want them to be too high or too low. You want to find just the right place in your range to put these songs so that you can sing them confidently. So it can kind of be a bit of a win-win for you. So thank you so much, Ayla, for being here and sharing your amazing guitar skills as well as your knowledge on this topic. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to comment below. We're here to help you. We're here to answer them. And then we gotta end with the chorus. It's just too fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Ha ha. Yeah.